From the studios at Brentwood High School, you're watching the award-winning WBHS 9 News with Nathan Zonarich, Chad Barker, reporters Riot Abulrab, Justice Butler, and Asher Posey. WBHS 9 News starts now.
Hello, Brentwood High School. I'm Nathan Zonarich.
And I'm Chad Barker. Here's what's making news.
After roughly 2 years of construction, the front of Brentwood High School is finally complete. Riot Abulrab reports it gives the school a whole new look.
2 years ago, the STEM building was added to the Brentwood campuses. This new building drastically increased student capacity, which required Williamson County to renovate parts of the main high school building.
When we got to the size of need for 2,100 students, we needed to increase capacity in the office areas, both in the guidance offices and in the administrative offices. So this new front of the building opens up. It's a secure entrance, so it's a much safer entrance for our students, and it allowed us to increase the capacity of the office for the ancillary services that are needed for a school of 2,100 kids.
This project took roughly 6 months to plan and an entire school year to finish. The price was just as hefty.
I believe it was $4.8 million, the entire project, and so really pleased with what the school district was able to do with the funds allocated by the county commission, and really think that it benefits Brentwood High School and the students in the Brentwood community.
Despite the costs, many think the new front entrance was well worth it.
I would say I love the new entrance. I think it looks great. I love the outdoor seating for the students. Right now we've got some benches out here for the kids to be able to sit in, and we're going to be adding picnic tables for them to be able to eat outside during the day. I think it's wonderful when kids get outside and get some vitamin D and pick up some sunshine. I think it helps them throughout the day. I think that helps their attention span as we go throughout a long school day. So I think that's great. I love the fact that with the new administrative offices that all of our guidance counselors are together. So our school counselors, our STARS counselors, our psychologists, they're all in the same area of the building, so we're able to centralize their efforts in working with students. So I think that's a big plus that wasn't part of the addition, but I think that's one of my favorite things that came out of the construction phase.
Students will be able to enjoy the front entrance and outdoor seating for the remainder of their high school years. Riot Abulrab, WBHS 9.
Sad news from Franklin High. Sophomore Will Cherry passed away last month. Cherry suffered traumatic brain damage in an ATV accident on July 3rd. He played on both the FHS football and baseball teams. Will Cherry was 15 years old.
Brentwood High School's TV and film teacher Ronnie Adcock is retiring after 14 years of mentoring students.
One thing I want to talk to all y'all about, and I've talked to the level 3s.
Ronnie Adcock is finally getting the rest and relaxation he deserves after working for 14 years as Brentwood High School's TV and film teacher.
It's been the time of my life, I'll be honest with you. I've enjoyed this job more than anything I've ever done. It's the longest job I've ever held, and I could not be happier.
Mr. Adcock describes the best part of his job.
When we built this new set, that was really big for us. I enjoyed. I didn't really oversee it, but I did. It was involved in the design of it. And then when you finish, you've got this nice new set here that looks good, and so that's something that I can see tangible that I helped play a big role in. But other projects, it's the 100 or so students that I have every year. Every one is a project, and every one I enjoy. But there's not any one specific project that I worked on, but I do have plenty of projects that students produced that I'm really happy with.
Mr. Adcock has a few tips to give to the next teacher who will be filling his shoes.
Patience. It's very important for the new teacher to have patience. Teenagers are great and fun to work with, but you've got to be patient with them and understand that this job is more than just about teaching and grading. It's so many more things with all the after-school sports that we cover, keeping up with the things for Channel 9, and you're just going to have to be a multi-purposer, so where you can do so many things at the same time.
Don't be sad though. Mr. Adcock still has plans on substitute teaching occasionally after he retires.
At the very top of that list is substitute teach. I do want to come. I want to help the younger students.
Ronnie discusses some of the goals he wants to reach before he leaves at the end of the year.
We've won THSPA 5 years in a row. I want to win that 6th one in a row. We all want and it's not for me, it's for my students. And I want my students to win more awards. I mean, I want you to be recognized for your work.
We wish you farewell and a pleasant retirement. Justice Butler, WBHS 9 News.
Coming up, football is alive and well in Tennessee.
and updates on Brentwood High sports.
The PTO is one of the most valuable assets to Brentwood High School. For years, they have generously donated to academics, athletics, and the arts. Last year, the PTO paid for umbrellas for outdoor lunch tables, 12 new smart TVs, outdoor landscaping, teacher lunches, and trophies for the TV and Film Awards.
The PTO needs donations because we can't do it without parents and support. We need funds to support the school and support the students and make it the best year ever.
Tomorrow is the Titans' final preseason game of the year. They will take on the Chicago Bears at 6 o'clock at home. In week 1 of preseason, the Titans took down the Atlanta Falcons 23-3, and in week 2, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 34-3. The Titans will open their regular season on September 12th against the Arizona Cardinals at home.
Big changes for the Brentwood High coaching staff. Golf, volleyball, basketball, and football all have new coaches for 2021. Assistant baseball coach Chris Saunders is taking over the BHS golf program. This is his first time to coach golf. Saunders tells WBHS 9 News Brentwood Golf has always been a strong program and he hopes to continue that this year. Volleyball coach Kathy Cram has some big shoes to fill after 16-time state championship winning head coach Barbara Campbell retired after 33 years. She says the team has been working hard the whole summer. The Lady Bruins opened the season with home wins over Father Ryan and Hillsborough. Coach Greg Shirley retired as the Brentwood High boys basketball coach after 6 years. Replacing him is Troy Bond from Oakland. Bond says he's super excited to be a member of the Bruin family and he looks forward to working with a great group of guys. One of the biggest surprises coming out of Brentwood was head coach Ron Crawford stepping down, taking over as offensive coordinator Clint Finch. Here to talk more about the changes for the Brentwood football team is head coach Clint Finch. So despite the loss we had on Friday against Blackman, how do you think that builds a foundation for the future for the Brentwood football team?
I was most proud of our kids Friday night for really their fight and their resiliency over the course of that game. At one point in time, we were down 36-16 in the second half. It did not look real good for us. We were fortunate that our kids kept battling and fighting. We reeled off 19 straight points, got some key defensive stops. And so it would have been real easy for us to have laid down, but we didn't. We kept battling, kept fighting, and like I told them after the game, if we continue to do that all year, we'll have a really good season.
So, of course, with you going from offensive coordinator to head coach, a lot of other people got moved around as well. So, have you seen that much of an effect in practices and whatnot with people getting moved around? How is those changes going?
So, we did have some staff changing position-wise, but I'm a big believer that if you're a good teacher and a good coach, the position you coach doesn't really matter. Michael Kane went from being a quarterback's coach to the defensive coordinator. He's doing a great job. Coach Sanford went from being a running back coach to a defensive line coach. He's doing a great job. I'm really, really blessed to have a really strong staff that does a great job every day in practice, does a great job over the course of the season. So they're living up to the expectations.
What was kind of your reaction when you heard that Ron Crawford was stepping down?
Obviously, Ron is a mentor of mine, and so I was first and foremost sad that we wouldn't have the opportunity to continue to work together. But at the same point in time, I knew it presented an opportunity for me, an opportunity I've waited a long time for. So it was that mixture of sadness that he was leaving, but also excitement that I was going to get a chance to lead a program that's a pretty elite program like we have here at Brentwood High School.
Clint Finch will take over as the head coach for the Brentwood High football team in 2021.
Now let's get up to speed what's happening on the field, court, and course. Unfortunately, cross country's first meet of the year got canceled due to weather. Their next meet will be in Hermitage for the MSCCA Voiles Classic. The boys and girls golf team both won their matches against Columbia Central last Tuesday. They play again next week against Franklin and Nolensville on Tuesday and Wednesday. The girls soccer team won 4-1 in their season opener last week against Stewart's Creek. Next week, they will play Harpeth Hall on Monday, Summit on Wednesday, and they'll make the trip to Bardonia, New York on Saturday. The volleyball team bested both Father Ryan and Hillsborough last week 3-1 in both matches. Next week, they play Franklin at home, and the Volleyball Battle of the Woods Round 1 will take place on Thursday at Ravenwood. Unfortunately, the football team lost to Blackman 38-35 last week. They play tonight against Father Ryan at home. I'm really hoping they're able to bounce back tonight against Father Ryan.
I sure hope so.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Nathan Zonarich.
And I'm Chad Barker. See you next time on WBHS 9 News.